Yeah, can I first thank her for raising this issue, which I had learnt about before Prime Minister's questions. It is deeply concerning to everyone in this House. There is now a police investigation, and I think we all need to do everything we can to support that investigation and be absolutely clear in our determination to deal with any of these offences, the like of which we've seen too much recently.
Okay.
Point.
Now that, of course, is Keir Starmer's response to another day in London, another incident, another situation where people have been viciously attacked by somebody. It's happening all too often. And, you know, in this particular situation, it was in Golders Green. I don't know if you're aware, but just for the sake of it, here is Golders Green, the rough location of it, pretty much far to the northwest. And you can see Cricklewood there, Golders Green, fairly near Brent Cross. So it's another day and another incident in and around the London area, and time and again this keeps happening, and we're met with platitudes. There was another statement that Starmer made, and here it is.
Well, I've just held a Cobra meeting, bringing together all the relevant partners, including the Home Secretary, the London Mayor, the Metropolitan Commissioner, to coordinate our response and to look at enhanced security. I've also spoken to CST. There is enhanced funding already in place. We need to increase that to give the level of protection that is needed. But of course, it's our responsibility to coordinate the immediate response here to this appalling attack, to ensure security is in place, to take other measures. I'm holding a meeting tomorrow with the criminal justice agencies to make sure that we can have effective and swift justice in these cases. But we do have to recognise the levels of anxiety and concern there are, that I know about, in terms of the Jewish community feeling very much exposed and vulnerable, feeling they've got to hide their identity, sometimes in the health service, sometimes at school, on the streets where they live. And it's our job to make sure that they feel safe and secure. It's our job to make sure that we absolutely deal with the roots of anti-Semitism and extremism. That is what we will do.
So where this incident has involved Jewish people, there's a couple of them that have been done by this, you know, armed person that went on a rampage through Golders Green. They're jumping all over it, as you can see. And every single day, I mean, if you go on Google every single day, something happens to somebody somewhere in that area, and seldom do you hear everything about it as publicly and as openly as you do when these kinds of things occur. It's an absolutely crazy situation to me. It really is. And I remember years ago, just briefly, I always remember driving through different parts of the area, and you would find that the look of the people just changed depending on what area you went through. And I remember driving through like the areas where there were lots of Jewish, Orthodox Jews, and you know, that sort of thing. And then a little bit further down the road, it would turn into something else again. You know, London just seemed to be like that after a while. So you've got this whole community, and someone's gone in and done this, and before you go into everything else, it is another day of, you know, incidents of this nature. So let's have a look at some of the specifics. You know, this is the moment a Jewish man is done in the Golders Green attack. I'm obviously replacing the word, but it's all blurred out here, and you can see exactly what happened. And that was at a bus stop in Golders Green. You know, somebody knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they wanted to get up to, and just went on it. And here's the moment a guy warns people of the attacker in Golders Green. Running down the road. And you can see him there, and he was quite obviously on one. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what was going on, knew what he wanted to achieve. I mean, there's this little piece of footage here. Footage of the man chasing Jews down the high street, and having a pop. You can see behind the tree straight away that's what's occurred. And somebody has gone round with a knife and decided they were going to carry out acts of that nature. Now, they're going to find there's some motivation to it, and I'm led to believe from following the news that it's been described as a terrorist incident at this stage in proceedings. And this is what Nigel Farage had to say about it. And tell me if you agree with him. It's Iranian-backed. How does Nigel Farage know this? Answer, he doesn't. They want the war with Iran, and this is contributing to the rhetoric.
A London street, now sadly an ordinary day. 2 people stabbed simply because they're Jewish. It's now been declared a terrorist incident. It's Iranian-backed. And what do we get? What do we get from the Prime Minister? The usual. A London street.
So there you go. That's what Nigel Farage said about the situation. And you have to make your own mind up what you think. We have discussions about all these things all the time, don't we? But the important thing is the guy, they actually got him. Actually took him down. The police turned up and did the job. And this was the tweet here from Breaking 911, wild takedown. British police arrest a terrorist. So they're openly referring to him as such. Who did 2 Jews in the Golders Green neighbourhood of London. One victim is in a serious condition. At the end of the day, they've just been attacked. So it's a lottery whether you're going to walk away from it or not, especially when it's a cowardly surprise attack like that. Now, what have we got? See him going after him. Got the tasers out.
תראה מה זה, הם לא יודעים להתמודד עם בן אדם! תפילו אותו!
There he goes. Now that footage does go on to show some of the actions of the police, restraining him, getting to him and dealing with the situation, the way it unfurled. And it will be interesting over the next couple of days, won't it? Exactly the rhetoric, who said what, who did what caused this, where we're going to go from here. It's all the same stuff, isn't it? But yet again, middle of London, the outskirts in this case, you get something like this happen. It's awful. Now, this is some of the members of the local community, and you can hear their words when I play the video.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Now you can see Mark Rowley there, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, in front. That's who they're saying shame on you too. You know, why has this happened? Why has this kind of activity been normalised? And people, rightly so, are going to come out like this, and they're going to say, and there's the local MP there as well, who's going to be getting a mouthful of abuse, because they're like, why is this happening in our community? That's the thing. That's the whole thing here. There's a couple of tweets as well. Have a look at these. Now, this is the tweet that came with that video I just showed you, and you can see locals in Golders Green are rightly shouting, "Shame on you," directly at Mark Rowley, and calling for him to resign. They're right. He should resign. The man's a disgrace. Mark Rowley has helped to normalise anti-Semitism in London. He's made this worse. So that's the opinion of Lee Harris, the person that put that tweet out. You know, this is what's going on, and you've got Golders Green march erupts. Jewish community floods the streets hours after the terror attack. Keir Starmer Jew harmer is what they're saying. No more silence, no more fear. Now, you know by that rhetoric what they're actually coming out with there. That says to me that they've got no confidence whatsoever in the ability of the government to sort out what matters to them, and primarily it's the safety of their community, and out they come. And going back to what Farage said, and you look at some of the comments, you do wonder how this is going to be played. And it, as I said at the beginning, it always struck me that there's certain incidents, isn't there, that tend to get far more attention than all the others. And yet again, it's England's capital city we're talking about here, where another day, another something has happened. Well, what do they say about it locally? Have a listen to this.
Being seen in Golders Green, the Jewish community have warned that this was going to happen. We've warned that they won't stop with just ambulances and buildings, that they're going to come for us, and something now needs to be done. We need real change, because people here are terrified. Things haven't properly settled in. People don't understand exactly what's happened, and it hasn't been allowed to filter through because people are still in shock. But what this means is that as a Jewish person, you need to be looking over your shoulder in Golders Green and all places. So the IRGC needs to be prescribed, and we need a completely new government.
I think looking over your shoulder is very valid advice all over, isn't it? Now, you know, best wishes to the victims, and hope they make a recovery. Best wishes to the victims' families as well. That's the first thought with all of this. But I will say something, and whether it's popular or not, you have different cultures that are welcome with open arms into a country, in this case England, who have different cultural beliefs that come with them. One may hate the other, or there might be something else to it. And eventually, of course, you see incidents like this all over the place. And they tell us that, you know, we're diverse, multicultural, and all the rest of it. Something just doesn't quite sit right with that for me right now. And we see this far too often. So, prayers to the victims. What are the politicians going to do with this? And when is it going to happen again? Because despite them out in the streets, despite the politicians saying what they do, we're, like the Jewish man said at the end, we see this far too often. Far too often. When does it stop? Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share my stuff, and I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.